This week, I am in the throes of coming home from our first ever Troy family reunion. It was a wonderful, wonderful week that I got to have with my family at the beach, visiting with my aunts and uncles and all of my cousins and a lot of their children. I am one of 21 grandchildren. My mom is one of 7 kids. And so between them, they've got 21 kids, and almost everybody was there. And then a lot of us grandkids, our generation, have kids of our own. So it was 3 generations, and it was really, really amazing. We had so much fun. We went and we met on the beach and we did a bonfire. We did barbecue one night at one of my uncle's beach houses, and I got a chance to see all of my cousins and have hugs and quick conversations with everybody. I didn't get a chance to go really deep with anyone, but that wasn't the purpose of this. Like, we just got to see each other. I was meeting a lot of my cousins' kids for the first time. And so I just was feeling tremendously blessed to have been able to have that opportunity. But something happened while I was there. In order to get onto the beach, you had to walk across this fairly long like boardwalk. And so one day I'm walking back to leave the beach and I see this mom there, and she's pushing a toddler in a stroller, and she is done up and has makeup on, and she has her phone set up on a tripod. And so she goes forward, puts the tripod down, and then backs up with the stroller, and then pushes her little button to start recording, puts this beautiful smile on, and then just starts walking down the boardwalk like she's just, walking to the beach, and then stops and then goes back and has to do another record to make sure she, gets everything perfectly. And I'm just watching her create this, what I assume is for social media. Maybe it's for personal use, but my guess, my interpretation is that was her recording her life and trying to put it onto the internet. And it just really got me thinking about how inauthentic social media can be. I think that there are some great things on social media. It's a way to connect, a way to stay in touch with people, see pictures, and I know, like, speaking of my extended family, the only reason that I've even seen a lot of, their kids and different stuff is because we have, different social media platforms and ways to post and share. And so I am not an anti-social media person at all. However, um, there is this trend more and more, and I'm seeing it in all sorts of places, that people are struggling to live authentically because they're so concerned with recording it to post it onto the internet. And it's not real. Like, it wasn't a that woman with her stroller and her poor little toddler who just wanted to go to the beach and play. Like, that moment wasn't authentic. She was posing it and staging it and checking the camera and then going back and doing another take to make sure she gets everything right. Um, and she forgot, I assume, in that moment, to just be present. And as we go through life, we can be so, so tempted to have these goals and these expectations and these things that we want for ourselves, whether or not it's related to posting on social media. But it's that we want life to look a certain way. We want life to feel a certain way. We want life to be social media worthy, whether or not we're actually recording it and posting it. Um, but I think our call is to more and more live what authentic and vulnerable and human life looks like, which isn't perfect, right? That looks like getting sunburns because we forget to, reapply sunscreen. That looks like having to interrupt conversations 15 times because our kid is running off and we need to go take them. That looks like laughing together. That looks like crying together. That looks like sharing who we are and allowing this not picture perfect, Instagram worthy front to be seen. Because what happens is, if we are tempted or tend to spend too much time on social media, we can start to think that what we're seeing is what we're supposed to look like. That what we're seeing that other people are posting is the goal. Like that they've got it all together, that they're perfect, that they're happy, that they have this beautiful family and this wonderful life and everything's amazing. Because we can start to think that what that little tiny bit, that 15-second clip that they're showing us of their life, that is indicative of their whole life. And then we turn that onto ourselves and start saying, well, my life doesn't look like that. My life doesn't feel like that. And so I must be doing something wrong. But what if we turned that around and said that the life that I'm living is exactly where God wants me to be right now? What if we just owned that imperfection is actually the goal? What if we just own that life is messy and complicated and confusing and full of a full spectrum of emotions? And that's the life that we're meant to live. And so I just want to remind you, if you ever find yourself doom scrolling and spending too much time on social media and worrying too much about those perfect images that, like that woman on the boardwalk showed, that you should never compare your insides to somebody else's outsides. Like just like her little perfect little stroller push walk towards the beach wasn't real. It was staged. It was performed. Everything that we see on there, maybe not everything, but the vast majority of what we see on there is that sort of staged perfection, the curated little bit that you've got to see. But for us to live a fully authentic, fully happy and fulfilled life, we need to be 100% all of the time. So that's all I have for you today. I'm Maria Riley, just a sinner in the throes of trying to be a saint.